I ain't even checked. I'm so sorry. I just went live immediately. So in this video, we're going to review somewhat. It's going to be a deeper review of these hidden books I just received yesterday from a brother that some of you know, Jeremiah Yahoo, and he does have a YouTube channel, but I do not know it right now. He's not really doing a lot of YouTube videos that I know of, but in the future he may. But he does have a Facebook. I can link his Facebook in the comments, well, in the description section, and you can, you know, watch his videos on there because he does a lot of videos. He does read from a lot of hidden books too, and give cross references to the Bible too. So let's check this out. All right, I'm gonna open this up, and we're gonna see what we got. I mean, I kind of already know, but I haven't opened it up. So this was funny, by the way. He he's going by he changed his name recently to Essene Nazarite Jeremiah Yahoo. So that's what his name is on Facebook now. It used to be Jeremiah Yahoo, uh, something else. Let me move this mic. All right, two books. Okay, so this is the book I see him reading a lot online. The other one, so it's two of them. Let me get this out of the way. All right, I'm gonna show you what we got here. We got The Ebionites by John Vujicic. If I said it right, this is what this one looks like. It's a paperback, and it's not too thick. It's not too thick. Now, the other one we got, The Gospel of the Nazarenes, edited and restored with historical documentation by Alan Waters and Rick Van Wahi, if I said that right. I think the publishers are Golden Age Media for this one. I don't know what the publishers are for this one. Oh, Lulu. Really? Lulu's a web. If this is the same Lulu I'm thinking about, Lulu, the website, lulu.com. If that's right, that's okay. Whatever. So this is what this one looks like: The Gospel of the Nazarenes, and it's not too thick. This one's thinner than the other one I just showed you. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna just read some of this, and I see Jesus in here a lot. Okay. I'm gonna see about this one real quick. Did I just see Jesus again? Jesus in here too. Okay, so this is after the Christ, most likely, because it's mentioning Jesus a lot. Let me make sure the audio is good. I think y'all will hear me either way because if it's picking me up from my webcam, it's gonna be super loud. If it's picking me up from the mic, it's gonna be a little lower, but you'll hear me. So I just want to make sure. I'm gonna check which audio we're getting. What we're getting. Okay, we're getting the microphone, so I need to be a little louder, maybe. Which I'm probably not gonna be because I'm chill. So I'm sorry, y'all. I'm laughing. I'm gonna keep my hoodie on because I'm cold. I just got back and it's cold in here right now. So let's see. Which one y'all want to hear first? I mean, it's probably not that many people. We'll just start with this one. We'll start with the Gospel of the Nazarenes. We'll start with that one. I'm gonna put this one to the side. I got my Bible right next to me in case I think of any cross references, but I probably won't use my Bible. I'll probably just go online. All right, I'm gonna just jump in at page 30, chapter 37, page 91, and we're just gonna see what it sounds like. And as I read it, just keep an open mind if you want. And these are some of the things that I do when I read new hidden books or books I never read before. I go by a certain amount of signs and things. If what I'm reading is important to me and if it stands out, that's a good sign. If it's not, bad sign. Another sign is, does it line up or link up, cross-reference with the Old and New Testament? That's a good sign. Does it contradict? Does it um, say something else that the Old Testament or New Testament says? That's a bad sign at times. Um, Sometimes it might give extra detailed information about stuff that we read in the Old or New Testament or biblical spiritual area. Good sign. Um, if the numbers are off on people's ages or years and stuff like that, it's not really a bad sign because numbers are off in many, many manuscripts and books. So that's not really a big deal. So doesn't even matter when it comes to that one. What's the other one? What's the other one? I can't even remember right now. Oh yeah, does it aggravate you when you're reading it or hearing it? Does it make you angry? And if it gets you to the point where you get so angry you just don't want to read it anymore, that's a very bad sign. And if what you're reading just seems like lies, stop reading it. That's how I do. So those are a few things I go by. So let's check out chapter 37 in the Gospel of the Nazarenes. I think I want something to drink before I go, but I'm good. All right, it says the heading is the re-embodiment of the soul. Okay, so it says Jesus sat on the porch of the temple, and some came to learn his doctrine. And one said to him, Rabbi, what do you teach concerning life? And he said to them, Blessed are they who endure many experiences. I need a highlighter right now. Knuckle bag. Oh man. I might double up on highlighters in the future, but I've had these highlighters for so long. Haven't even been I probably should just put them over there. Blessed are they who endure many experiences. I already agree. Excuse me. So I'm gonna keep going. It says, Blessed are they who endure many experiences, for they shall be made perfect through them. They shall be as the angels of the Most High, and shall die no more. I like that. Neither shall they be born any more, for death and birth have no more dominion over them. Killed reincarnation, didn't it? Just messing. Let's keep going. Oh man, I can put a little note right there. Reincarnation lie. I got so many scriptures on the reincarnation. Okay, I got some bad news about this book already. The um the print of the book is clear to see. Um it's not what do you call it? It's not fading out like the King James 1611. Like some words are cut off because the ink, poor ink, like the typewriter. The printer was running out of ink when they printed it. It's not having that problem, but I can't write in my cross references in the middle of the book because they didn't give me enough space in the middle. So if I want to write cross references, I have to do it at the top, bottom, or the right, or the very left, but not in the middle, which is right where this verse is. So that's not good. If you do it, you got to do it really, really small, which it's so difficult to do. I can't even do it. I'm gonna put it at the top, so I say that so fast. I'm gonna just have to put it at the top. Let's see, reincarnation lie. And I'm gonna just put verse 2. Okay, that's just what I do sometimes. All right, so let's keep going. Verse 3: They who have endured and overcome shall be made pillars in the temple of the Lord, and they shall go out no more. Verily I say to you, except you be born again of water and of fire, you cannot see the kingdom. That sounds similar to the New Testament. And a certain rabbi, Nicodemus, came to him by night for fear of the Sanhedrin, and said to him, How can a man be born again when he is old? Yeah, that's definitely a cross reference to the New Testament. Can he enter a second time into his mother's womb and be born again? Jesus answered, verily I say to you, except a man be born again of flesh and of spirit, he cannot enter into the kingdom. Now that might be a little different than the New Testament. Let me see. I just want to check. I think that flesh part is not in the New Testament. Let me see. I could be wrong. I could be wrong. It might not even matter, but let's see. If a man he is not born again, verse. Did I turn the heat up? I hope I did. I don't know. John 3 3. Okay, I'm gonna read this real quick. You won't see it. I'm not gonna share the screen. I'm gonna just read it so I can see if it adds flesh to it. Okay, John 3 3 says, Jesus replied, verily, verily, I tell you, no one can see the kingdom of God unless they are born again. Okay, verse 4. How can a man be born when he is old? Nicodemus asked. Can he enter his mother's womb a second time? Okay, I need verse 5. Let me get verse 5. I think that's the main one. Jesus answered, very truly, I tell you, no one can enter the kingdom of God unless they are born of water and the Spirit. Okay, I'm looking at the other verses in different translations to see if flesh is in there. I don't see flesh in any of these. Let's see, water and spirit. I see water and spirit. The other one that I just read says flesh and spirit. Okay. All right. Let me check verse 6. I don't think verse 6 is even included. I think that's okay. Wait. Verse 6 says, flesh gives birth to flesh, but spirit gives birth to spirit. Other translations say in verse 6, humans can reproduce only human life, but the Holy Spirit gives birth to spiritual life. So it sounds like the New Testament is better than this one when it comes to this verse, but they can both probably make sense. But it sounds like the New Testament is going with more spiritual, but this one says flesh and of spirit. I don't see the flesh part of this one. I don't see how that makes the most sense, if at all. So I'm gonna just circle that, and I'm gonna put John 3:6 next to it. Water and flesh. So the question is water or flesh? Which should it be? I think water because the way the context was going, I could be wrong. Let me just make this note real quick. All right, got it. Now let's go back to it. Okay, so we'll keep going. What's up, Walter? How you doing? How you doing, everybody? All right, so we're reading the what is this, by the way? The Gospel of the Nazarenes, by the way. Yeah, new books, man, new books. I was blessed by brother Jeremiah Yahoo, brother Doug. He was in a few videos with me on fighting demons on my channel, but he blessed me with these books, man. Ultimately, the Most High blessed me through him. So I'm reading these books, check them out, and I'm catching any contradictions, anything. So these are books I never read before. I've never bought before. So here we go. So I'm in I just picked a random chapter too. I'm in chapter 37, and I just caught a difference, by the way, in chapter 37, verse 1, verse 5, with John 3:6. It's a small variation, which happens a lot in manuscripts, but it just depends on which one makes more sense, you know. So it looks like to me, though, John 3:6 makes more sense than this one. So let's read it again. I'm going to read verse 5. And okay, now I'm getting hot. Hold on, let me take this hoodie off. Okay. So it says, verse 5, Jesus answered, verily I say to you, except a man be born again of flesh and of spirit, he cannot enter into, it just seems wrong, flesh there, I'm just saying. But let's keep going. He cannot enter into the kingdom. Does that make sense to y'all? I'm gonna just read this. We're gonna just focus on this word flesh in verse 5. Now I'm gonna just point it out real quick for those who got here late, in case you didn't see it or hear it. John 3:6 says water and of spirit, not flesh and of spirit. Now y'all consider which one makes more sense to you. Now I'm gonna read from verse 4, no, verse 3, and here and go down, and you let me know which one, water or spirit, which one. Okay, so it says, um, that's it. That's it. Okay. Verse 3, they who have endured and overcome shall be made pillars in the temple of the Lord, and they shall go out no more. Verily I say to you, except you be born again of water and of fire. Now that sounds like a good cross reference to John 3:6 instead of flesh and, you know, but let's keep going. And then it says, you cannot see the kingdom. And then it says, and a certain rabbi, Nicodemus, came to him by night for fear of the Sanhedrin and said to him, how can a man be born again when he is old? Can he enter a second time into his mother's womb and be born again? Jesus answered, verily I say to you, except a man be born of flesh and of spirit, he cannot enter into the kingdom. The winds blow where it will, and you hear the sound thereof, but cannot tell from where it comes or where it goes. The light shines from east even to the west. Out of darkness the sun rises from beyond our sight and returns from whence it came. So is it with humanity from the ages to the ages. When life comes from beyond our sight, it is that we have lived before. And when it returns from whence it came, it is that we may rest for a little. Killed reincarnation again. Wait a minute. I'm gonna just put another note with the reincarnation lie. Hold on. Okay, got it. Okay, so it says, I'm gonna go back and read this whole thing. When life comes from beyond our sight, it is that we have lived before, and when it returns from whence it came, it is that we may rest for a little, and thereafter be reborn to the flesh. Wow. Okay. Well, that sounds different. It sounds like it went with reincarnation right there. That last part. It's like it went with it, then killed it, then went with it. Okay, let me erase my note then. Okay, then it says, so through many changes we must be made perfect. As it is written in the book of Job. Okay, they talking about Job here. Not many books cross-reference that, I don't think. But that's a good one. Let me put a note. Okay. I am a wanderer, changing place after place and house after house. Sounds like Abraham. Until I come to the city and mansion which is eternal. And Nicodemus said to him, how can these things be? And Jesus answered and said to him, are you a teacher in Israel, and yet do not understand these things? Verily we speak that which we know, and bear witness to that which we have seen, and yet you receive not our witness. What's up, Leon? I see you. I read deep, you see the figure for it lined up with the Bible. Yeah, I know. Okay, chapter 38 says, and some of his disciples came and told him of a certain Egyptian, my bad, a son of Belial. Belial was another name for the devil. A son of Belial, who taught that it was lawful to torment animals if their sufferings brought any profit to men. Okay. I don't even know if I should highlight that. And Jesus said to them, They who partake of the benefits which are gotten by wronging one of the Creator's creatures cannot be righteous. Like that. Okay, so they who partake. I'm just highlight that. Okay, then it says, nor can they touch or teach holy things, or speak the mysteries of the kingdom, whose hands are stained with blood, or whose mouths are defiled with flesh. Ooh. The Lord gives the grains and the fruits of the earth for food, and for a righteous man, truly, there is no other lawful substance for the body. The robber who breaks into the house made by man is guilty, but they who break into the house made by our Creator, even the least of these, are the greater sinners. Wherefore I say to all who desire to be disciples, keep your hands from bloodshed, and let no flesh meat enter your mouths. For the Lord is just and bountiful, who ordains that man shall live by the fruits and seeds of the earth alone. Okay, I'm gonna highlight that. I'm thinking about that. But anyway, it says, but if any animal suffer greatly, and if its life be a misery to it, or if it be dangerous to you, release it from its life quickly, and with as little pain as you are able. Send it forth in love and mercy, but torture it not, and the Lord will show mercy to you, as you have shown mercy to these given into your care. Now I see that cross represent a bit because it does say, to those who have shown mercy, mercy will be shown to you. Now I can see that. Let's keep going. Then it says, and whatsoever you do to the least of these my children, you do it to me. Ha 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 ha. For I am in them, and they are in me. Yeah, I am in all creatures, and all creatures are in me. In all their joys, I rejoice. In all their afflictions, I am afflicted. Wow. Wherefore I say to you, be kind one to another, and to all the creatures of the earth. And it, dang. Okay, that just brought it to a whole nother like idea. Okay, so based on that, if you kill something else, according, if we think about it like that, we killed the Most High, or we killed either the Christ was talking right there, or whoever is talking about is in them. That's just like deep right there, and that kind of what makes sense. It reminds me of one of the Ten Commandments: "Thou shalt not kill." But hey, let's keep going. So it says, "Be kind to one another, and to all the creatures of the earth." Wow. Now I'm not. Um, well, I'm gonna say it this way. I like this part. Now I can go with this because I already think like that. I try to be kind to all the creatures, period. But that's not in the Bible, I don't think. I don't think it words it that way. But it says, and it came to pass. Well, it kind of does. It just don't say it like this. It say, I can think of one, do unto others as you would have them do unto you. But it don't specify who the others is. But if you just imagine everything, all creatures, then yeah. Okay. 7. It says, and it came to pass the day after that he came into a town called Nain, and many of his disciples went with him, and many people. Now, when he came near to the gate of the city, behold, there was a dead man carried out, the only son of his mother, and she was a widow, and many people of the town were with her. And when Jesus saw her, he had compassion on her and said to her, weep not, your son sleeps. And he came and touched the boy
And they that bore him stood still. And he said, Young man, I say to you, arise. And he that was thought dead sat up and began to speak. And Jesus delivered him to his mother. And there came an awe on all. And they glorified the Lord, saying, A great prophet is risen up amongst us. Chapter 39. It says, and again, it just says again, again, Jesus was sitting under the fig tree, and his disciples gathered round him and round them. That's how it says. Oh, and round them came a multitude of people to hear him. And he said to them, To what shall I liken the kingdom? And he spoke this parable, saying, The kingdom is like a certain seed, small among seeds, which a man takes and sows in his field. But when it is grown, it becomes a great tree, which seeds forth, which sends forth its branches all around, which again, shooting downward into the earth, takes root and grows upward till the field is covered by the tree, so that the birds of the air come and lodge in the branches thereof, and the creatures of the earth find shelter beneath it. Another parable put he forth to them, saying, The kingdom is like a great treasure hid in the field, which a man finds, he hides it. When a man finds, he hides it, and for joy thereof goes and sells all that he has and purchases that field, knowing how great will be the wealth therefrom. Again, is the kingdom like one pearl of great price, which is found by a merchant seeking goodly pearls, and the merchant finding it sells all that he has and purchases it, knowing how many more times it is worth than that which he gave for it. Again, the kingdom is like a woman who takes of the incorruptible leaven and hides it in 3 measures of meal till the whole is leavened, and being baked by fire becomes one loaf. Or again, to one who taking a measure of pure wine pours it into 2 or 4 measures of water, till the whole being mingled becomes the fruit of the vine. Again, the kingdom is like a city built foursquare on the top of a high hill and established on a rock and strong in its surroundings wall and its towers and gates, and its gates, which lie to the north and to the south and to the east and to the west. Such a city will not fall, neither can it be hidden, and its gates are open to all, who having the keys will enter therein. And he spoke another parable, saying, The kingdom is like good seed that a man sowed in his field. But in the night, while the man slept, his enemy came and sowed tares also among the wheat, and went his way. But when the blades sprung up and brought forth fruit in the ear, they appeared. There appeared the tares also. And the servants of the householder came to him and said, Sir, did you not sow good seed in your field? Why then has it tares? And he said to them, An enemy has done this. And the servants said to him, Would you desire that we go and gather them up? But he said, No, for if you gather up the tares, you also root up the good wheat with them. Let both grow together until the harvest. And in the time of harvest, I will say to the reapers, gather up first the tares and bind them in bundles to burn. Then and enrich. Um, I'll just keep going. To burn them and enrich the soil, but gather the wheat into my barn. And again he spoke, saying, The kingdom is like the sowing of seed. Behold, a sower went forth to sow. And as he sowed, some seeds fell by the wayside, and the fowls of the air came and devoured them. And others fell on rocky places without much earth. And straightway they sprang up because they had no deepness of earth. And when the sun was risen, they were scorched. And because they had no root, they withered away. And others fell among thorns, and the thorns grew up. Yeah, that's how it says it. And the thorns grew up and choked them. And others fell on good ground, ready, prepared, and yielded fruit. Some 100-fold, some 60, some 30. It sounds like the numbers are on point right here. But let's keep going. Then it says, they who have ears to hear, let them hear. Chapter 40. It says, and the disciples came and said to him, why do you speak to the multitudes in parables? He answered and said to them, because it is given to you to know the mysteries of the kingdom, but to them it is not given. For whosoever has, to him shall be given, and he shall have more abundance. But whosoever has not, for him shall be taken away even the little which he seems to have. Therefore I speak to them in parables, because seeing they see not, and hearing they hear not, neither do they understand. For in them is fulfilled the prophecy of Isaiah, which said, seeing they see not. My bad. I'm so used to the way the New Testament said. I'm quoting it like that. Let's see. 4. It says, for in them is fulfilled the prophecy of Isaiah, which said, and seeing they shall see, and shall not perceive. For this people's heart is waxed gross, and their ears are dull of hearing, and their eyes they have closed, lest at any time they should see with their eyes and hear with their ears, and should understand with their heart, be converted and healed. But blessed are your eyes, for they see, and your ears, for they hear, and your hearts, for they understand. For verily I say to you, that many prophets and righteous men have desired to see those things which you see, and have not seen them, and to hear those things which you hear, and have not heard them. And then he goes on to say, then Jesus sent the multitude away, and his disciples came to him, saying, declare to us the parable of the field. He answered and said to them, he that sows the good seed is the Son of Man. The field is the world. The good seed are the children of the kingdom, but the tares are the children of the wicked. The enemy that sowed them is the transgressor of the law. The harvest is the end of the world, and the reapers are the angels. As therefore the tares are gathered and burned in the fire, so shall it be in the end of this world. The Son of Man shall send forth angels, and they shall gather out of the kingdom all things that offend, and that's deep, and them which do iniquity, and shall cast them out. And they who will not be purified shall be utterly consumed. They shall see, then shall the righteous shine forth as the sun in the kingdom of the highest heavens. Here also the parable of the sower. The seed that fell by the wayside is like as when any hear the word of the kingdom and understand it not. Then comes the wicked one and catches away that which was sown in their heart. These are they which receive seed by the wayside, and they that receives the seed into stony places. The same are they that hear the word and received it without joy. Yet have they not root in themselves, but endure only a while. For when tribulation or persecution arises because of the word, by and by they are offended. They also that receive seed among the thorns, are they that hear the word, and the cares of this world and the deceitfulness of riches choke the word, and they become unfruitful. But they that receive the seed into the good ground are they that hear the word and understand it, who also bear fruit and bring forth some 30, some 60, some 100-fold. These things I declare to you of the inner circle, but to those of the outer in parables. Let them hear who have ears to hear. So that did sound similar to the New Testament.
Whoever heard can respond if you want. Y'all can let me know what y'all think. So far, I don't think the book is bad. I just caught maybe one contradiction. I didn't say anything, but maybe. But it could be like depending on how it's taken. It was about the food that we should only eat herbs and no meat. Because it clearly said that the Most High didn't say eat meat. But in the scriptures, the Most High did say eat, you can eat certain meat, certain. But this made it sound like the Most High didn't say it at all. And I know people that teach that, I think, but they need to be careful with that because it's clearly there in Leviticus. I mean, Leviticus would have to be like the part where it's in Leviticus 11 or even in Genesis, like where it talks about eating meat. Like you would have to like deal with the manuscripts and tell me, does it not say that? So it was that one part, but I didn't say anything. I guess we could check that out. If the Most High didn't say it, and who said it? You know what I'm saying? That's what we will have to figure out. But let me go back to see if I can find it real quick. I was on chapter 40, so I only read like 3 chapters, I think. Maybe 4. I think 3. Let's see if I can find it. Because I didn't highlight it. I was thinking to highlight it, but I didn't. I'm going to skim through and try to find it real quick. Let no flesh meat enter your mouths, for the Lord is just and bountiful, who ordains that man shall live by the fruits and seeds of the earth alone. So that's the verse in chapter 38, verse 4. Now, the way it words it, I understood that it's saying, let me go back and read the whole verse. I'm going to read from verse 3. It says, the Lord gives the grains and the fruits of the earth for food, which he does. And for a righteous man, truly, there is no other lawful substance for the body. The robber who breaks into the house made by man is guilty, but they who break into the house made by our Creator, even the least of these, are the greatest sinners. Wherefore I say to all who desire to be disciples, keep your hands from bloodshed. And did I just have a vision? It seemed like I've read this before and I never had this book. It just seems like I saw this already. I'm not sure, but it looked real similar. Like this, just let's keep going. But I could have had a vision of me reading this already. Let me keep going. Where am I at? Where am I at? Wherefore I say to all who desire to be disciples, keep your hands from bloodshed and let no flesh meat enter your mouths. For the Lord is just and bountiful, who ordains that man shall live by the fruits and seeds of the earth alone. And then he goes on to some other stuff. Okay. So that's the part that I was talking about. So let me make a note real quick. Now I can understand if y'all can let me know what y'all think about that too. Now I can understand if Moses wrote in the Old Testament that you can eat flesh and it wasn't the Most High that ordained it or commanded it. I can understand that, but what we find in the Old Testament is not the same thing. We find the Most High actually saying you can eat meat. So I don't know about that. So in Genesis 9:3, Let me pull it up here. I don't want that one. I guess I'll take this one. Oh, I should have took the other one. Okay, it says, every moving thing that live shall be meat for you. I want the whole chapter because I can only see that. Okay, so this is chapter 9 in Genesis, verse 1. It says, and God blessed Noah and his sons and said to them, be fruitful and multiply and replenish the earth, and the fear of you and the dread of you shall be on every beast of the earth, and on every fowl of the air, and all that move on the earth, and on all the fishes of the sea. Into your hand are they delivered. Every moving thing that lives shall be meat for you. Even as the green herb have I given you all things. But the flesh, but flesh with the life thereof, which is the blood thereof, shall you not eat. Now, either I'm understanding that wrong, or I'm not. Now let's see what else it says. And then it says, and surely your blood of your lives will I require. At the hand of every beast will I require it, and at the hand of man. At the hand of every man's brother will I require the life of man. Whoso shed man's blood, by man shall his blood be shed. For in the image of God. Okay, he's going into something else. Okay. So that's the one that I thought about. Now we go to Leviticus. This is the other one right here. A lot of people know about this one. Very popular. So where's the beginning? Okay, so it says, and the Lord spoke to Moses and Aaron, saying to them, speak to the people of Israel, saying, these are the living things that you may eat among all the animals that are on the earth, whatever parts the hoof. And it goes on and on and on and on and on. Now, the way it starts off, it says that the Most High spoke to Moses and Aaron, saying to them, speak to the children of Israel, saying, and the rest was what was said, which was, of all the animals, you can eat these, and you can't eat these, and of the birds and all that other stuff, you can eat these and can't eat these. So this is the part that I thought about. If that wasn't in here, or if it wasn't any scriptures where the Most High allowed people to eat meat at all, then I wouldn't even think about it being a contradiction, or I wouldn't even worry about it. But that's what I thought about. So anyway, but I guess it kind of don't matter. So let's see. So what I think about the book so far, it's all right. It's all right. We're 47 minutes into the video, so I better get started on this other book, though. I think. No, we're 43 minutes into it. So let me read another one. This is the Gospel of the Nazarenes that I was reading. So I'm gonna look at this other one. He also sent me this one. The Ebionites. Never read this. So let's see what we got. I can jump in at a random page. Chapter 16. The title is, what a heading, did Jesus eat fish? Now I don't know if that's like the actual book, or I think that's just some notes. Let's check it out though. Let's check it out. It says chapter 16 though, but this might not be how. I'm trying to see. Okay, yeah, that's, did God allow Noah to eat meat? Okay, that's chapter 15. It must be two different books in here. Okay. Chapter 9. Dang, so this is really high. Nah, that's just high. Okay, so I'll tell you what. Since we was just on that topic, we're gonna start at chapter 8, chapter 15, which says,
Did Noah eat meat or something like that? Paul had problems with vegetarian belief. I want to read that too. I tell you what, we'll start right there then. So we'll get from chapter 13. We'll start right there and then we'll get some more of this food stuff in here. Okay, chapter 13. This is the heading. Paul had problems with vegetarian believers. Okay, so let me get something to drink and we'll read. Hold on. Funny. Okay, so let me see. When does it start? Because they didn't. It's no. Um, that's how it is. Okay. So it says, we have seen that the Ebionites were vegetarian. Okay, you highlight that, and that they abstained from wine. Okay, sound like Nazarenes. However, if Jesus and the 12 endorsed the flesh diet and consumption of alcoholic beverages, moreover, if they themselves ate animal flesh and drank wine, then we would not expect believers and followers of the 12 to insist on vegetarianism and abstention, something like that, from wine and other fermented drinks. On the other hand, if Jesus and the 12 were in fact vegetarian, and if they instructed their followers to adhere to a vegetarian diet, we should expect at least some evidence in the writings of Paul that this was the case. So they do acknowledge Paul had writings here. All right. It's a lot of history about Paul, and his writings. So anyway, let's keep going. It says, when we carefully sift through the epistles of Paul, we do not only discover that there were believers in the assemblies Paul established who insisted on vegetarianism and who also abstained from wine, but we also discover that they appealed to the Jerusalem apostles in order to justify their practice. It was, in fact, the emissaries. I don't think I said that right. I don't know if I said that right, y'all, but if that is right, I think that is right. But it says it was in fact the emissaries of James. I might still be saying that wrong, but anyway, let's keep. So it does mention James. Let me highlight James. James. Okay. The brother of Jesus, and it's that one I figured, but they made it plain. Okay. And the elders from Jerusalem who actually made Paul's converts aware that vegetarianism and abstination from alcoholic beverages is a requirement which Jesus himself imposed on all his true disciples and followers. Did he? Really? I would like to know that myself. Let me highlight this. I'm highlighting that. Okay. All right, got it. I'll make a note too. I made a bad note. Well, I got some good news about this book so far. Okay, so for your cross references or any notes you would like to write on the inside, up, down, and the right and left sides of the book, you do have a decent amount of space on the right and left, top and bottom, and you kind of got a little space in the middle. It's not as much as I would like, but it's better than the gospel of the Nazarenes. You need to have right no space in the middle. But let's keep going. So where we at? Where we at? Okay, so then it says Paul, of course, rejected vegetarianism and sanctioned the flesh diet and consumption of fermented beverages. He claimed that food had no bearing on the relationship with God. 1 Corinthians 8:8. He instructed his followers to buy whatever meat was sold at the market, the meat market. 1 Corinthians 10:25. He also instructed his followers to eat whatever their unbelieving friends may serve at the table. This, now I do remember that, I think. This included the sacrificial flesh, providing the host did not raise the issue. Then it goes on to say, and even if they did, Paul told them to abstain not, because it was wrong to eat flesh subscribed to idols, but rather because of the unbelievers and weak brothers' conscience. 1 Corinthians 10:15 and 27. Despite the fact that Paul rejected vegetarianism and was convinced that it was all right to consume animal flesh, he nevertheless instructed the meat eaters and those who drank wine not to do so in order not to cause a scandal in the congregation. Romans 14. Indisputably, I'm sorry, let me say, make sure I'm saying this right. Indisputably, there we go. So it says Romans 14. Let me I need to highlight Romans 14. Let me make this stand out real quick. This is a big one right here. Romans 14. Okay, it says Romans 14 indisputably proves that there were two types of believers in Rome. Excuse me. And I know what he's talking about too. One group consumed animal flesh and wine, while other group practiced vegetarianism and also abstained from wine. Please not, and that's true. That's true. If you read the entire scriptures, Old and New Testament, you will see all throughout the Bible, there was some that ate meat, some that didn't, some that so this really doesn't start with Paul. They're using this at the moment. So I'm just saying this didn't start with Paul though. But let's keep going. So this is a note right here. It says, please note. Now, I don't know if this is the author's note. It probably is. It's probably not actually I don't even know if these came from manuscripts. I don't know. But this could just be the author's note right here. It says, please note, one man has faith to eat all things. Okay, this looks like the scripture right here in Romans 14 somewhere, I think. It says, one man has faith to eat all things, but he who is weak eats only vegetables. Yeah, that's in Romans 14 somewhere. This is from the World English Bible. That's the translation. And then it says, this verse clearly proves that some believers in Rome did not eat animal flesh, but were actually vegetarian. Paul, of course, regarded this group as weak. And when he say weak, he means weak in faith. That's what he means. Not weak as in strength, like muscle. No, he means weak in faith. But let's keep going if you read the context. So it says, Paul, of course, regarded this group as weak, while the flesh eaters as strong. Romans, and that's still going about faith, though. It's about faith. Anyway, let's keep going. And then it says Romans 14:21 explicitly points out that the issue was flesh and wine. Please note, it is good to not eat meat, drink wine, nor do anything by which your brother stumbles, is offended, or is made weak, from the World English Bible again. So I understand that. Y'all can think about that. Basically, you don't want to be somebody that influences or peer pressure somebody into doing something that they are against. Like if somebody's smoking weed and you quit, you got your reasons for it and you don't want to go back to it, but you're around somebody and they're smoking it, right here, that could be an example of what he's talking about. It says, "It is not good to eat meat, drink wine, nor do anything by which your brother stumbles." So if I know somebody don't smoke weed, and let's just say I did, and they was coming over here and I knew they didn't smoke weed, it would be smart for me not to smoke weed while they're here because it can influence them, or what's the other word? Peer pressure them into smoking it again, and that can make them stumble. Or anything in that category. Like if somebody quit gambling and you probably gamble and you like, hey, you want to go to a casino? You want to go to the sweepstakes, or whatever. And you're basically you could be a stumbling block to people. So it's just saying don't cause your brother to stumble. But let's keep going. Then it goes on to say, this text plainly states that eating meat and drinking wine could cause offense to other followers of Jesus. Paul used the word scandalizo, which means, oh, did I skip a line? Oh, which means scandalize, displeasure. The word scandalize means to shock the moral feelings by offensive conduct. It is evident, therefore, that certain followers of Jesus in Rome practiced vegetarianism and held very strong belief on the issue of meat and wine. Paul did not say that they should eat meat and drink wine as others do. Neither did he quote the alleged words of Jesus that nothing can pollute that enters the mouth. Instead, he actually instructed the strong to abstain from flesh and wine for the sake of those who did not eat meat and drink wine. Paul did not regard these vegetarian believers as those who adhered to the doctrines of demons, as the author of 1 Timothy 4 1 through 4 believed. Nor did he say that these vegetarian believers were impure, and that is why they regarded meat eating impure, as did the author of Titus. Let me see. Let me highlight this. Meat eating impure, as the author of Titus. For the author of Titus implied that those who did not eat everything are impure. 1:15 in Titus. And this man, these chapters are long. I don't know if I'm gonna get through all these. I'm probably gonna have to read some and let's see how long. Oh man. Yeah, I'm gonna have to shorten this up. I'm gonna just try to do like a little bit of pages in each one because these chapters are longer than I thought. So we can get like some of what it's talking about. So far, what I get from it is it's not scriptures. It doesn't appear to be holy writings. It's just somebody's studies and maybe opinions or beliefs on, like, it's like commentaries in a way of the Bible. That seems to be kind of what it could be. I don't really see this as being commandments or scripture or anything like that. That's how it kind of seems to me. So yeah, and then what you would have to do with this stuff is, as they give cross references and stuff like that, or make up points, you would have to verify they telling the truth at certain points. Like one point, it said, it says, and the elders from Jerusalem who actually made Paul's converts aware that vegetarianism and abstaining from alcoholic beverages is a requirement which Jesus himself imposed on all his true disciples and followers. Like that part, you have to go and verify, like, did Jesus actually do that? But even if he did, would it matter? Would it mean that you're supposed to do that? I don't think so, because even Jesus, um, I think he said, John. Yeah, John was a Nazarite. He didn't drink, and they didn't like John. And then he said that he did drink. He came eating and drinking, and they didn't like him either. So if that's true, that Christ drunk wine, and they still didn't like him, you got a choice. You can drink wine or not. They ain't gonna like you anyway. So it don't matter. It ain't gonna matter if you drink or you don't drink. It's like a study. It's like a study would just to be done on the entire topic, drinking wine and eating meat. And I don't know if this person or whoever put this book together did that entire thing. They might just be giving you pieces of the puzzle, because I don't see it going back so far to the earliest eating of meat, at least in this chapter. Yeah. So I'm gonna leave that one alone. I'm gonna just go on to another one. Let's see what else we got in here. Chapter 14. Why did Jesus cleanse the tongue? Care about that one. Let me see. Chapter 15. Did God allow Noah to eat meat? Question mark. Now let me see how long this chapter is, because I would like to read a lot of it, but it's like 6 or 7 or 8 pages, like 7 pages. Yeah, this is not scriptures. It doesn't look like scriptures, like holy scriptures or holy hidden scriptures. So this is my opinion. This just seems to be a book that somebody put together, and they just studied the Bible and put cross references in here, and that's just what it is. So stuff that we could do ourselves. But let's keep going. It says that did God allow Noah to eat meat? The passage of Genesis 9:2-4 was the subject of great debate and controversy. Definitely ain't no scriptures. You can see how the way it sounds. Then it says, after years of study and research and virtually leaving no stone unturned on the subject to date, I have not read a commentary on the passage, which is worthy of a serious consideration. Generally, it is argued that here we have the first biblical passage where God explicitly told Noah that he may kill any animal he wanted to in order to eat its flesh. Even vegetarians who abhor meat eating and who practice vegetarianism on ethical grounds admit that here we are faced with a biblical text, which clearly sanctions the killing of animals and eating of their flesh. All they can say is that due to the fallen and corrupt nature of humanity, God gave a concession, if I said that right, concerning meat diet. But that's a good way to put it, actually. Clever. Okay, let's keep going. But that it was not his idea, as in Genesis 1, verse 30, where God ideally prescribed a completely vegetarian diet. But nothing can be further from the truth. The early Jewish Christians, who were the descendants of the original disciples of Jesus, argued their vegetarianism on the basis of this passage as well. The Jewish Encyclopedia, that's a reference, Art, Jewish Christian sects point out that these early believers referred to the 4th verse of Genesis 9 in order to show that it is a sin to kill an animal and to justify their vegetarian diet. I will, first of all, point out how some modern versions corrupt the Hebrew text by stating, I'm going to highlight this in another color. All right. He says, I will first of all point out how some versions, modern versions, corrupt the Hebrew text by stating that all animals, birds, reptiles, fish were given to Noah for food. Really? Is that true? I like stuff like this. See, I'm a nerd, so I get into manuscript differences and stuff. So this is like, yeah, you know what I'm saying? I'm getting hungry, y'all. Y'all probably was eating the whole time. Nah, I'm just messing. But y'all know what I'm gonna do, right? I'm gonna eat right in front of y'all. That's what I'm gonna do. I ain't lying. What I was about to eat. Man, you know what? I just had an idea. I got so much of this food left. I don't think I'm eating as much as I used to, y'all. I mean, I still be eating, but it just seemed like, look at all this. I mean, y'all can't see. Can y'all see? Look at all this. Mm-mm. I, man, that's a lot. Anyway, I didn't know it was that much left till I saw it. That's a trip. Anyway, so it says some modern versions corrupt the Hebrew text by stating that all animals, birds, reptiles, and fish were given to Noah for food. In addition to the plants he had always eaten, the lying pen of the scribes was not at work just in the days of Jeremiah, but it is very much at work today also. At least these translations reveal very plainly that before the flood, Noah, vegetarian, wait, that's how it says it? Was vegetarian. I didn't see it was vegetarian because the way I mean, if it was just Noah very vegetarian, I'm like that don't sound right. So I missed the was. Noah was vegetarian. Okay, it says at least these translations reveal very plainly that before the flood, Noah was vegetarian, and that he ate only grains and vegetables, even though he lived many centuries after Adam's alleged fall. Some Jewish and Christian sects, I'm gonna stop right here. I don't like reading this because it's just somebody's information about what they think, maybe right or wrong, from what they've studied. And so basically it's coming to an opinion of a person or people. And that's all it could be. But I'm already not liking, well, I'm already not into reading it anymore because that's what it is to me. It's not like the not what's this the Gospel of the Nazarenes. It's not a holy book. It let me take that back. It does have cross references to the Bible in here, so I can't say that the whole thing is not holy or doesn't have anything of God in it. It does have godly stuff in it, but it's just not like a book that I would want to come to and get spiritual food from. Nah, this ain't it. This is a book that'll just sit on the shelf if you want to study it. And like this book is somebody's study of the Bible, and you got to go in it and look in it. It's like homework. You go in it, you look in it, you read it, and you got to verify everything that they said is the truth instead of just reading the Bible yourself and verifying the Bible because that's all they did. But if this is what some people want to read, that's cool. But I don't. It's not interesting to me. I don't even feel in my spirit that it's interesting right now. But do I want to verify some of the stuff they said in here? Yeah, but that's time consuming, and I don't want to do it all. I see they did talk about the Giants, though. I just saw that. So it's a lot of topics they talk about, but they claim that the Hebrew text was um, mistranslated or the scribes added to the text. Sure. I would like to see that. I wonder what they did to find out that truth though, because some people claim the scribes changed this and that, but they don't go into no manuscripts. They just be saying stuff. So those are my thoughts on it. Good to know, but what y'all think? So if those books are good for y'all, then y'all can get them. I believe he got them from Amazon or uh, certain online store. Let me not say Amazon. I know he did order a lot from Amazon, but I think he went to other bookstores because Amazon's prices have been high lately on some books. So, and I mean, since he was buying them from me, then you had to ship it here. It would make sense to get it kind of cheaper. So if Amazon got the best deal, then hey, you gotta do what you gotta do. But these books came from online bookstores like Amazon, eBay, ChristianBook.com, Thrift Books, ABBooks.com. It's a lot of, I think Books a Million, I think that's one. So many books. Websites is, I can't even think of them all. But like, if anybody wants these books, you can go to, just type in the Gospel of the Nazarenes. And if you want this one exactly, you can look for what it looks like. There is no ISBN number on the back, so I can't tell you exactly that. So you can find it like automatically and only this one. But they haven't done that for this, so there's actually nothing on the back. Like it's weird. There is no barcode to even scan on the back. So this is not even made to sell in the store by the barcode, but this one is. I didn't even notice that until just now. But if you want the Ebionites, you can go to lulu.com, I believe, or wherever they sell it at. I see the Lulu down there. That's probably what it was printed at, lulu.com. But the ISBN number, if you want it like that, is 978 1684 711086. If you search that in on the internet, it will find this book automatically. But it will give you exactly the same book. It will be the same paperback, the same book. That's how the ISBN numbers work. If you didn't know before, now trying to get the focus back in here. Focus. It focuses on my hand. It's not focused on me. I'm back here. Hello. Clear up, sir. Let me try to get this camera to clear up. It won't clear up on me, y'all, but it's all good. Y'all don't need to see me that clear, I guess. So, it's supposed to have auto focus. It does good most of the time. Oh, there it is. There it is. So anyway, now I'm gonna tell y'all this. How about this? I'm gonna tell y'all like when I buy these books. I would buy this more than I would buy the Ebionites, because the Ebionites is not holy scripture 100% like these are. These are more holy than, well, this book has more holy scriptures in it because it actually has more cross references to the Bible. They both do, but this is like you can read this and get fed spiritually. I didn't read anything in here that would turn me away from reading it or turn me away from the Most High or His Son or believing a lot of things I believe, but I did find things that might contradict, that that might be, it could be a variation from a manuscript of the New Testament or a variation of words, slight changes, but nothing hugely bad for me. But it is some things that you will have to verify in here too. It's just like that with other books too. It's just how it is. It's just how it is. Any questions y'all got, or whoever? I don't even know. I think only one person is with me, but whoever, you got any questions before I go? Because I'm done reading these books. I don't see a point to read the Ebionites anymore, even though I was excited and wanted to read more of it. But after I read some of it, the excitement left, because it's not Holy Spirit. It's not like reading the Bible or a lot of hidden books I read. It's not like that. It's just somebody's study. It's like a commentary. It's not, no. So, anyway. I'm sleepy anyway. Well, I got some new books though. Thanks to the Most High and Brother Doug. don't think anybody got any questions for me. Well, I'm gonna get out of here, y'all. Peace be to the saints. I'm gonna eat and do some other stuff. Well, I'll see y'all again soon. I got some more stuff to talk about. It was something really important too. I'm gonna just try to get this stuff done when I can. Peace be to the saints, though. All right, I'm out of here.